Hello students, welcome to Cooking Club. Today I'm going to show you how to make cinnamon sticks and the icing to go with it. That's the best part. Very easy to make. You only need 4 ingredients. Pillsbury crescent rolls, cinnamon, sugar, and butter. Now the Pillsbury crescent rolls, they also sell them in a dough sheet. It's the same thing, but it's in a long rectangle instead of triangles. A little bit easier to work with, but you can use either one. I'm going to use the dough sheet today. So the first thing I'm going to do is mix up my sugar and my cinnamon together. So in a bowl, I'm going to take about a half a cup of white sugar. Maybe a quarter cup. That looks like a lot. I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. 1, 2. And then I'm just going to stir it up and set that aside. So it looks like that all stirred up and mixed together. Cinnamon and sugar mix. I like to work on a wax paper. So I'm going to prepare my working area with wax paper right here. I'm also going to melt 2 tablespoons of butter, which I already went ahead and did that. I've got 2 tablespoons of melted butter here. So I'm going to open up my Pillsbury dough sheet. If you've never opened one of these, you just bang it on the counter and they pop open. I'm going to roll it out on my wax paper. And then what I'm going to do is spoon some butter on it. If you have a pastry brush, you can brush the butter on it. You don't need a lot of butter. It just helps the cinnamon and the sugar to stick to it. Okay, I'm going to cut this in half. I'm going to take my cinnamon and sugar mixture and I'm going to put it on one of the halves. So I'm just going to sprinkle it on the dough. And I'm going to make sure the whole thing's covered with it. Then I'm going to take my other half of my dough and I'm going to put it right on top of it. So now I have a rectangle and I've got my cinnamon and sugar mixture in between. Now I like to make kind of short little twists. You can make long ones if you want. So I'm going to cut it down the middle. And then I'm just going to start cutting little slices. It's a little sticky. Maybe I should have buttered my hands. So then I take these little rectangles that I've got cut and I twist them. So they're filled with the cinnamon and the sugar in the middle. I just twist them and I'm going to put them on a cookie sheet like this. Put this right here. Twist another one. Put it on the cookie sheet. Twist another one. Put it on the cookie sheet. It's a little messy, but it doesn't matter. It all cooks together. Twist it. Put it on the cookie sheet. Another one. Twist it. Put it on the cookie sheet. Like I said, it's a little messy, but it doesn't matter. Now I like to make them short because I like to dip them in the icing. And we don't want any double dipping, especially these days. Now this one's a little fatter. I'm going to try it out, see how it looks. I'm just going to twist it. A great big fat cinnamon twist. Okay. I'm just going to set this aside for now. And once you have them on the cookie sheet like that, I like to put a little bit more butter on the top on each of them. And I just spoon it on. Or, if, like I said, if you have a pastry brush, you can just brush it on. And then I'm also going to take a little bit more of the brown sugar and cinnamon and sprinkle it right on top. And that's it. And I spilled some of the sugar on the cookie sheet, but that doesn't matter. It'll bake, it'll get nice and bubbly. All right, then I'm going to throw it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes. You just got to keep an eye on it. When they get nice and golden brown, they'll be done. All right, while that's cooking, I'm going to make my icing. So what we use for icing is confectioner sugar or powdered sugar, milk, and butter again. So I'm going to take a tablespoon of butter and I'm going to microwave it. I'm also going to put a little bit of milk in there. So I'm going to use about maybe 2 tablespoons of milk also. I'm not one for measuring. I just like to estimate. I'm going to microwave that for about 30 seconds just so that the butter softens up and the milk's a little bit warm. This makes it easier to mix the confectioner sugar in with it. Looks about done. Perfect. Now I'm going to mix about a half a cup of confectioner sugar with this. I'll start stirring it up and get it to the consistency that I want it. So it's pretty watery at first. I'm just going to keep adding confectioner sugar to it till it thickens up. It's pretty messy, but it's okay. We're in the kitchen. And then as you can see, just stir it till you gets the consistency that you want it. I like it nice and thick. So in this case, you can see it's kind of like a frosty. Bon appetit. Enjoy.